Hey guys, it's me, Ghoul Slap. I've been in the YouTube game for a long time now. I just hit 25 billion subscribers the other day. And because of this, I figured it was time I start giving back. So today I'm going to use my influence to recommend a show that some people may have heard of, but I don't think a whole lot of people actually sat down and watched when it came out. The show I'm talking about is a sci-fi drama series called Raised by Wolves. It is an HBO Max original, which I'm sure is part of the reason why it flew a little under the radar. Now, HBO Max is pretty cool, except that it sucks ass. It's definitely got one of the wider selections of quality TV shows that I've seen of all the major streaming platforms, but I can't find any of them because this fucking keyboard is sideways. I have to scroll all the way over here to get to these letters and go all the way back. What the fuck? Once you actually get to the show, you're going to start having a good time, though. Raised by Wolves starts with the premise that mankind has essentially destroyed itself in a civil war, and these two androids have been tasked with reviving humanity on a desolate planet. Using human DNA, the androids creatively named Mother and Father use their sci-fi contraptions to bring 6 babies to term, and the majority of the show revolves around these androids acting as parents and dealing with weirdly mundane family-type situations. This to me is so cool because you have this incredibly strange situation, and yet there are still these regular human conflicts that you watch play out. Only they all have this tinge of batshit craziness to them because of how not normal the circumstances actually are. Oh, and I haven't even told you about the space Christians yet. No, wait, don't leave. Okay, so yes, the civil war I mentioned is between space Christians and space atheists, but I promise it is not as cheesy as it sounds. The best way to think about this show is as a love letter to all those old groundbreaking sci-fi books and movies. Just look at these helmets. Yeah, they were cheesy sometimes, but they were charming and they opened the door to all the sci-fi stories we love so much today. You think you have Star Wars without Dune? No way. Think we get Cyberpunk without Neuromancer? Nuh-uh. You think you get fucking Guardians of the Galaxy without Star Trek? Think again, you bitch. And of course, Raised by Wolves is gonna have some of that old school sci-fi thrown in there. Ridley Scott, the director of Alien and Blade Runner, directed the first 2 episodes. This guy is the master. I know some of his recent work has been a little iffy, but I promise this show captures a lot of energy from the groundbreaking genre classics like Alien and mixes it with some A+ world building, art direction, and character writing. What was I saying before you interrupted me? Oh yeah, space Christians. So basically the androids are space atheists and they do not like the space Christians, and so you get a whole lot of tension surrounding this and these strong themes of belief and doubt. By the way, I know it sounds like I'm spoiling the entire show for you, but everything I'm talking about is in the first 15 to 20 minutes. Raised by Wolves is a masterclass in how to write a first episode. It is one of the most fast-paced starts I've seen in a serialized TV show. It introduces the world and the situation to the viewer very quickly and then wastes no time letting the plot progress, and it is not afraid to let shit go down. You could probably just watch the first episode and feel like you watched a very eccentric avant-garde sci-fi short film, but then there's still more show after that though. The pacing in general is just excellent. There are no episodes that feel slow, and there's always enough going to keep you interested and invested. Beyond just good writing, you got the cinematography, which is freaking legit. You got all these beautiful looking scenes and some weird, wacky, excellent movement choreography that just makes so many scenes so eye-catching and pleasing to look at. But the highlight of the show has gotta be the acting. Basically everyone in this show is an above average performer except for this fucking kid.
Leave her alone or I'll kill you all!
But oh my god, is the lead actress amazing. Her name is Amanda Collin, and I think with a few exceptions she was the best actor I saw in all of 2020. Just look, how do you even do that with your face? I could probably watch a whole show of just this lady being fucking crazy and still enjoy myself, but no, she's doing all this weird ass shit on top of an engaging and well written plot also. The guy who plays the father android is also just incredible. He is so good at being this comforting, warm presence that when he's on screen, I feel safe. You've also got this ongoing theme that looks at gender roles and parenthood and takes that stuff in all different kinds of cool directions. As a result, the scenes with just these two are always so complex and fun to watch. I can't single out every good performance in this show though, or this would be a long ass video, but almost every single actor puts on a super solid performance and really gives this thing their all. Again, except for this kid.
Yes, I love that name. Pizza.
Stop! There are only a couple things I would mark this show down for, the first being the coloring and the soundtrack. Neither of these things break the show for me or anything like that, but I would say they're 2 of the more underwhelming aspects of an otherwise spectacular piece of television. The colors are almost always some undersaturated mix of gray, blue, or tan, and this would be cool if it were to kind of emphasize the dreariness of the uninhabited planet that serves as the setting for most of the show, but there's never any contrast. Like even other settings that we see with other moods and outfits and characters are still drab and gray looking. I don't hate the soundtrack, and there are actually some cool background tracks here and there, but it's not anything special. Like, I couldn't hum any of the music to you from memory, and I've seen the show twice. The biggest problem with the show overall is that the ending is a bit crazy. The show pretty perfectly walks the line between coherent and esoteric for the majority of its run, but the ending tips it slightly too far into the realm of abstract weirdness. The first time I saw the end, I was like, what the fuck? But my friend actually just watched the show recently and pointed out something that I had missed, and it actually helped the end make a lot more sense to me. Again, it doesn't ruin the show by any stretch, but if you're looking for clear-cut and coherent answers to your questions, you may be a little bothered by this ending. What I will say is that if you walk away from the show feeling unsatisfied with the ending, I would highly recommend watching the whole thing a second time, and you'll probably pick up on some things you wouldn't have otherwise, and it'll make the way it ends feel much less out of place. So if we dock a point for the bland lighting and soundtrack, dock a point for the strange direction of the ending, and add one bonus point for the excellent writing and the absurdly good performances by Amanda Collin and basically everyone else, don't you say anything to me? This show lands at a very well-deserved 9 out of 10. Just go watch the show, it's so fucking good.